The Chinese have announced that they're going to go to the moon. In fact, they will probably beat the United States. NASA last year admitted that their time frame is behind the Chinese time frame. As the mystery of the universe unfolds in our great celestial neighbor, something extraordinary has caught the attention of scientists and space enthusiasts: the surface of an ancient and mysterious structure caused by the lunar sordo. This discovery challenges everything we know about Earth other than its natural satellite. So what secrets does the moon hold that have been kept from us for centuries? And will the answers to these secrets reshape our place in the big picture of the universe? Join us on this journey as we investigate a discovery that shocked the world. Has China discovered something different about the moon, something that disrupted our understanding of the lunar landscape? In the 9th century AD, Chinese inventors started the rocket party, laying the foundation for the dazzling pyrotechnic displays and all the rocket engines we admire today. Although China dominated the competition in the mid-20th century, it jumped on the Soviet Union's tail in the 1950s and delved into space exploration. However, when the Soviet Union ended, China began to turn left. On April 24, 1970, they proudly placed the first satellite into orbit. It has been a slow but steady technological journey ever since. China's lunar orbiter Tiantian entered the moon just 10 days after first reaching it in 2007. It didn't attract much attention at first, but it wasn't until Chang'e dazzled everyone with a new solar system that people around the world brought China's journey to a halt. But China didn't stop there. They built their own space station, a cousin of the International Space Station. This cosmic expansion has led to China's new modular playground, as the country prepares to take the prize to the stars. China's space exploration has taken an exciting turn, especially as China's space exploration industry begins to make waves in the field of exploration. Chang'e 2 encountered another object on the mysterious dark side of the moon. Snapshots from China reveal the mystery of the orange-yellow gel that immediately sent shock waves through the scientific community. Many people began to wonder if this was evidence of life on the moon, but the Chinese are tight-lipped, leaving the world with unanswered questions. Chang'e was thrust into the spotlight and received an honorary award for its daring feat of wandering around the elusive backstage on the mysterious dark side of the moon. Earthly control solves celestial problems, and the entire lunar month is under control. The China National Space Administration has used the magic of the sky to break Earth's laws and solve major communications problems. Interestingly, China not only had the most launches in 2018, with 39 launches in total, surpassing the US with 31 and Russia with 20, but also started 2019 with even better results. On January 3rd, they landed a rover on the dark side of the moon and captured even more mysterious images of our cosmic neighbor. This is a major achievement for China, almost comparable to winning the World Championship in space exploration. Doug Ellison, an engineer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, took photographs and turned them into beautiful panoramas. These images show us the perspective of the rover. It shows not only the dark side of the moon, but also the lander that took the rover there. China has big plans for the moon. Many 4,444-year lunar orbits show that the two sides of the moon are like night and day. While one side of us has a flatter mare, the other side is like a wonderland full of craters. Scientists now believe that the far side of the moon holds some secrets and is thicker than the near side, but we can't know for sure until someone checks it in person. Astronomers are excited about the distance to the moon. Like cosmic time, it is a quiet space free of radio waves from the Earth, perfect for studying the birth and development of stars and galaxies. The rover is equipped with a lot of equipment: a camera for taking pictures of the moon, advanced equipment for measuring radiation, and a spectrometer for taking cold radio waves. It's a treasure hunt on the moon, finding food and learning how the sun's atmosphere dances with the moon. The Chang'e 4 mission is part of China's lunar exploration mission. They're digging now, before sending out studies to observe from above. The flight site of the Chang'e 4 mission is named after the moon goddess in Chinese mythology. On December 7th, the March 3B rocket took off from the Xichang Launch Center in western China. It has been away from the cosmic partner since December 13th, busy making sure its communications and data can function properly. Since its landing, it has explored unexplored areas of space and performed some amazing scientific experiments. Chinese scientists created a bombshell with their reports revealing the sticky material found by the Yutu-2 lunar rover in lunar craters. They dumped more images and crossed them with the Apollo model. This is our classic rock month, but with a twist. This is a rock that has probably become sticky from the kiss of a meteor. It is a shiny dark green color, brighter than our grandmother's beautiful dresses. It was discovered in July 2019 and given a unique label, gelatinous. The glass material, which is different from ordinary lunar soil, makes them a problem. The dark moon made it difficult to see clearly. Only 38% of plagiarism classes can be detected. Surprisingly, this glass matte material is not much different from its lunar environment, suggesting that it may have the same appearance as other lunar dust. But here's where things get interesting. This lunar reflection has a dark green surface and measures approximately 52 to 60 centimeters. In a scientific article published in the journal Earth and Planetary Science Letters, experts from the Chinese Academy of Sciences revealed this secret. They call this lunar mystery Brea, which glows dark green and melted as a result of the impact. It was found in Von Karman crater, away from the moon in noise. Scientists compared the lunar rover snapshots with samples taken from the U.S. Apollo missions. They found that the green object vaguely resembled the Apollo sample, suggesting it may have been created during a lunar impact. On December 1, 2020, the Chang'e 5 mission successfully landed on the asteroid, ending its 23-day space adventure. Twin dynamic detectors took off like rockets from the Wenchang spacecraft launch site in China's Hainan province. The launch pad has completed many missions, launching probes like Chang'e 3, several satellites, and even parts of the Chinese space station. And after the Chang'e 5 lander successfully separated from the orbiter, it gracefully landed on the hot spot of the moon, which scientists call the god of the ocean. It's a large, flat area on the far side of the moon near the equator, incredibly open and connected to the 1,250-meter Mons Rumper. The Chang'e 5 mission is not just a happy occasion. There is a laser target. The approximately 8-ton interstellar explorer is dedicated to collecting lunar samples and returning moon rocks to Earth for the first time in 40 years. These strange animals are returning to our home. Recent discoveries show that the moon may be different than we thought. Some even dare to dream of the rich treasure trove of food on the moon that may hold the key to unlocking our power. The mission was implemented on a spacecraft orbiting the moon, carefully collecting samples from the depths of the moon. Just 14 days later, people around the world held their breath as the plane began returning to Earth. With this victory, China joined the elite of aerospace nations. While the world was celebrating this success, scientists were also eagerly awaiting the return of the lunar samples. Scientists around the world have lived up to expectations as they uncovered the secrets of the moon, providing new perspectives and insights that exceeded everyone's expectations. On December 17, 2020, the capsule re-entered Earth's atmosphere and landed gracefully in the vast, sparsely populated region of Mongolia. Now that the samples were safe, the experts got to work immediately and were very happy. A burning question arises: will this drilling confirm existing theories about how the moon formed, or is there something completely different going on in the moon's interior? But even before the capsule reached Earth, some astronomers began to understand what the capsule structure might mean. According to these experts, a planet the size of Mars collided with Earth more than 4 billion years ago, paving the way for the birth of the moon. In the chaotic aftermath of this celestial collision, part of our planet was torn off and turned into rocks and molten lava. Until now, it was generally believed that the heat of that time had permanently eliminated the water column, and in our collective imagination, the moon is a faint object slowly fading like a cosmic plum. Recent discoveries have added some mystery to this lunar story. Telescopes and detectors have been working tirelessly over the past months and years to uncover a surprising fact. There are giant sheets of ice hidden among the craters near the moon's poles. Suddenly, the once-aged moon began to challenge its parched reputation, revealing ice that defied previous assumptions. The moon, long thought to be in perpetual drought, seems to have a secret reservoir waiting to distract people's thoughts and rewrite history. The story continues, and suddenly everyone is talking about the frozen moon. NASA is preparing for the Artemis mission, which plans to film lunar inhabitants near the coldest part of the moon over the next decade. While there, space explorers will be tasked with figuring out how the water stored on the moon can be put to good use. Why is everyone so passionate about the moon? People drink water on the moon, plants cool off in the moon's soil, and oil is cooked on the moon. Cosmic explorer Chang'e 5 has thrown a curveball into our dreams. The rover discovered something remarkable in the tiny star we call the moon: water. And lots of it. This is special news from the Chinese Academy of Sciences. They were playing with Chang'e 5's practice drill when they came across a group of small cups. These tiny rocks formed suddenly when meteorites hit the moon. Some comets also travel to the moon, landing carrying water. Now the ice at the poles is giving cold water secrets to the moon. While we're talking about the moon's twists, scientists took a closer look at the effects of glass beads. They are faced with a big surprise. It was determined that water was stored inside the beads. Each little pearl contains a tiny amount of water, but when you put them together, it looks like moon water. These beads are small, not 1 millimeter. It gets surprising when you calculate all the water in these little beads. We're talking about 2,000 parts of water in each rock. Each ton of lunar soil contains up to 2,000 kilograms of water. According to the Earth's environment, liquid water is equivalent to 2,000 liters of water. Such glasses will disperse throughout the month. For thousands of years, the moon has been torn apart by comets, asteroids, and meteors. It looks like a river party on the moon that no one knows about. It turns out that there will be water everywhere on the moon, from the equator to the poles. This means that when humans eventually go to the moon, they won't have to go directly to the pole and deal with the ice there. Instead, they can find water almost anywhere on the moon. By heating the beads, they can enter the water. It's similar to a treasure hunt, but requires less digging and more science. Residents of the moon will have easy access to fresh water wherever they decide to shop. Chinese scientists have redoubled their efforts to prove that the water inside these sparkling rocks has a wonderful story. It looks like it was made by the sun. Some of the sun's charged hydrogen atoms enter the glass beads and mix with the air inside, just like the sun leaves a little surprise for the moon. It's not just these glass beads anymore when heated by sunlight.